Hey everyone, today we're going to make a graphic similar to this one. Let's get it. Okay, so first things first, we're going to open up Photoshop. Mine opened right here. But this time we're going to do something different. We're going to mess with the logo a little bit and edit that before we start to actually make, we're going to make an overlay this time. So we're going to open up that. I have mine on my drive here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to break this logo apart into different sections. All right. Okay, so what you want to do is hit W, come get the magic wand over here, and then we're going to break this apart. So we're going to select we'll do the blue part at first. Select that blue part. Once it's selected like this, we're going to go down here and we're going to get our solid color. And we'll just do this color just for the heck of it right now. Oops. And I missed some, so we're going to do that again. You want any part that's blue. You would hold shift to add on to that. All right. Now go to our solid color. There we go. Just gonna hit OK. And then you just want to select everything that's white. All right, and then we would go to the adjustment layers, solid color, and this time we do white. And then we just got the last one, it's like the gold. So we're gonna select everything that's gold. All right, once again. And we'll just go to something that's similar right this second. All right, and lastly will be this red eye. Okay, so now we got the logo broken down into different parts. We will highlight all of those. Command G. And I'll just put Saber as logo. All right, and then we'll move on to the next step once you've broken them down. Okay, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get the colors matching. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hide this and then open it up, and then we're gonna select this, our blue, double click on there, and with the eyedropper, it's gonna go over here. We'll select that blue. All right, and that should now change our color, that blue. All right, and with the yellow, we'll go here and get this orange. And then now we got that matching. The red was pretty similar. We don't really need, just to get it right, I will. So we'll double click on there. All right. So now the next thing you do is you're gonna make a new file. And I like to make mine, export my files out at 1080 by 1350. So I'll double that in size. I do 300 resolution and then just hit create. And then what you'll do is you'll go over to where your logo was, select the folder, Command C, go to your new canvas that you just made, Command V, and put that there right this second. And once you get yours on there, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, what we're going to do next is we're going to import the little reference image that we're going to use. So File, Place Embedded. And line up right there. Just want to drop that all the way to the bottom there. We're going to hide that Savers logo for the moment. All right, what next thing we're going to do is we're going to make this little kind of like a border, so you can write and have some font here for it. So the first thing we're going to do is select P on your keyboard, or you can go over here to the left and select the pen tool. So first things first, we're going to make that type of image here, or shape. Once you have the points all selected, we're going to right click, make a selection, and then we're going to go over here to our solid color. We'll just keep it right there, right this second, since we should be the same as the Sabres color that we just did, or whatever logo that you're going to be using. So bring the logo back. All right, and once you get there, we'll move on to the next step and edit this logo a little bit. Okay, so next what we're going to do is try to edit this logo a little bit, make it like embossed, kind of like it's like if you rub your hand across it, it would stick out, have like some groove to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is work on these, on the gold here. I'm just going to double click over here in this slot over here. It'll bring up the layer styles. And I'm just going to click bevel and emboss. Got the embossing selected. And it should just do here and those handles here. Depending on our size and our depth. All right. I was messing with it a little bit earlier. That's why it's kind of like in the same position. Kind of right there. And how you get the shiny, reflective is in the gloss contour here. You want to make sure that you go down to a double ring. That's the double ring right there. And it'll kind of give it that shiny effect. And you can just play with the size and the depth of whatever logo you're working with after you've dissected them, broke them into different sections. So next, I would do the white buffalo and the swords. I think I might just leave the blue flat so it looks like just those parts are embossed. So we do roughly the same thing. But see how it kind of change the color of the logo. So what you do is in the shadow mode down here, you would just drop the opacity down. You know, you don't want to do it all the way off or all the way on, but then you can kind of give it some size and some depth. Make it look like it's kind of like sticking out. All right, then you can close that up. And we pretty much have the logo right there that we're going to use. All right, we turn our background back on. All right, so what we're going to do next is to get that onto this shape here. We're going to convert this to a smart object. We're going to hold Option. We're going to create a clipping mask. And that's how that's going to be stuck onto the just there and only viewable on this image, on that shape that we made earlier. Kind of like the one behind here. Now we're going to select both of these, Command G. We're going to call that design. So then you can just kind of look, see things that you liked from that one and incorporate it in our own design here. And I'm just showing you guys, how you can look at other people's stuff and try to break it down and make your own. All right, so that's where we're at so far. In the next step, we'll try to bring some texture in back behind our logo. Then we'll try to work on the font and add anything else that I think I would like to. And we're actually going to add this line here too. All right, so once you get there, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, next, to make this line right here, what we're going to do is hit pen on our keyboard, or you can hit the pen tool over here. And we're just going to make this line real quick. All right, then once you got your selection, you want to right click, make selection, and then go to a solid color here. And we'll just do anything right this second. Okay, next what you want to do is double click into this Saber logo here so we can get this color. We're going to double click here. We're just going to copy that code, exit out, and then we're going to change this, Command V, and now we got the same color as the handles and the outside of the logo. So what I'm going to do is make this embossed too. I think that would look kind of cool. All right, zoom in so we can see a little bit. Soften it, round this up a little. All right, and it kind of looks like that's like the border has like a nub on the outside. All right, once you get there, we'll move on to the next steps. So what we're gonna do is name this Disc Gold Bar. Just make sure you have your layers named so you know what you're working with. Makes it a lot easier in the long run. Or if you ever work on a project that's like really extenuous and you got a bunch of different stuff going on. But next we're gonna add some texture here to the background. I'm just gonna do where the sabers play. File, place embedded. Pick the arena. I'm gonna size this up to the size of the image. And we're gonna create a clipping mask and we're gonna put it below the logo. What we're gonna do is Command Shift A or Alt Shift A. It'll bring up the camera raw. What you're gonna do is bring the color to black and white. Take the lighting, bring the shadows up and the contrast. Go to effects, bring up the clarity, a little texture to it. Hit OK. And the next thing we're gonna do is go to the blending modes and we're gonna go to overlay. And we're gonna go to the opacity and we're gonna drop it down. Start it right around 50%. All right, we'll select the image. Make sure we got our move tool, and we'll just drag this over so we can see more of the ice. All right, then what we're gonna do is just create a mask down here. Select the mask, hit G, get your gradient tool. Back to transparent, and we're just gonna fade this out right here. All right. We're actually gonna change this to black on one end, black on the other, and white in the middle. And we're gonna move these points to reveal a little bit so it fades on. And we just have it a little bit right there. All right. Once you get to those steps, we'll move on to the next. We'll probably put some font on there. Okay, next we're gonna add the font. What we're gonna do is hit T on the keyboard. Or you can go over here and you can select the text tool. Just select out. It's gonna write update. And we drag it over here. I'm gonna drag it outside the design. And Command T, I'm gonna size it up. So it's pretty similar. Okay. Then what we're gonna do is double click here. I'm gonna go to gradient overlay. We want it to be black to white, like I have selected here. So it kind of gives it that dark and then faded on. I didn't go all the way black, but pretty close. Okay, and that's where we want to stand right now. Then you can move the scale of it. So adjust where the shade lays along with the highlights. All right, that's pretty similar here. We'll hit OK. Turn on our design. Next, I'm going to import an image of a saber. I already did it, so there's that. So now we're at least kind of like all in the same sport here. Okay, so with the update selected, we want to go back into the layer styles. And we go to emboss and embedded. And make sure you do the right thing. Try to make it stand out here, pop out in like some sort of a 3D level. Put it right in there. Kind of liking it right in that area. You just mess with the lighting and stuff to get it looking pretty good. All right, that'll work for that particular option. Now, next I want to put in any, like the Sabres type of logo if I can. The word logo. On a file, we're gonna place embedded. I'm gonna hit enter. And what I'm gonna do is hit W, so I'm just gonna select these. And we'll bring up the wand tool. All right. And I can delete that later. Command T, I'm gonna shrink that. All right, and then we'll most likely put the same exact font style that was on there. So we'll right click, we'll convert that to a smart object. We'll just write Sabres text logo. All right, bring this back into the design. We'll do the same as that. Click over here. We're gonna get the bezel. I might not even put the font on there. Just like how the white shines like that. Even better, hold on. Just double click in here. Yeah, I like that. Even better. But just to match the same color, I'm gonna actually go to the scope bar, get this color here, Command C. And we'll double click into this one, go to the color overlay, Command V. That's looking good to me. Once you get to these steps, we'll move on to the next. We'll maybe try to add some other types of fonts or some type of graphic in these spaces here. All right. Okay, so next, I'm just gonna add some drop shadow to what we just created. So we're gonna double click on that, drop shadow. Okay, for that one. Then we'll do it on the update one as well. So you can kind of see it standing out there. All right, next we're going to add some lens flares. I have one that you can just search on the internet. You can find them anywhere. They're pretty easy to find. I just had one that I liked. So I'm gonna import it here. I'm just gonna hit enter. And then I'm gonna go to the blend mode. I'm gonna go over to screen. We're gonna hit Command T. I'm gonna shrink that down. All right, firstly, I want to on this right here. All right, what we're going to do is put a mask on there, get our brush tool, make sure that the flow is turned down, and that the hardness of the brush is 0. Turn that up just a little. Make sure black's selected. Make sure the mask is selected. And you just kind of want to paint away so you don't see the rough edges there. Kind of fade it, you know what I'm saying? All right. Then what we're going to do is turn down the opacity to that. Flare just a bit. Okay, then we want to do adjustment layers. We want to go to hue saturation, create a clipping mask so it just goes to that flare. We're going to do colorize. And we're going to try to get that to be a yellow, because it's reflecting off of a gold surface. All right, and we can Command J, drop that down. And move that one to this white one over here. We're going to get our brush, and we're going to paint out these rough edges here. All right. And once you get there, we'll add on the final steps to that, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, next I'm going to actually bring this up. Maybe till it needs, yeah. So you could also put like some space down here. You could put like a little bit of what the update was. Like if there was an injury or something, you could put that down here as well. But I'm gonna try to throw some just like basic, just graphic lines. Go ahead, or you can go over here to your box tool. And I'm just gonna make a few boxes here. I'll try to try to put the sabers, the gold in the white maybe. and then Command J. Put that on white. All right. Lastly, I'll put on the logo. For Built in Buffalo. Check them out if you haven't. Facebook, YouTube. If you like Buffalo sports. All right. There you have it. This is this week's graphic. Go Sabres.